All right, well, hello and welcome back as we are getting ready for the third game of the night and the final Prism game of the week as we are going to have the Chicago Inferno up against the Santa Carla Freakz. As I've said in both games before this one, I'm hoping, and it sure seems like this might be the closest game of the night, but we'll see if it pans out to be as such. As you can see, Chicago sitting at 3-0, while Santa Carla are the only 2-1 team in all of the 8-bit league, but still only one standings position separates them. Moving over to the weekly schedule so far, it is a wall of 3-0, all in favor of the higher seeded teams. So we'll see if this match can break in. Either way, there would be a sense of symmetry, so we take that. But all yet to be seen. Looking at our standings, two teams at 4-0 could have Chicago joining them, or they'll meet in the middle with Santa Carla. Then we have Calgary and New York at 2-2, and then just sets of 2 all the way down from there. Moving over then to our team stats, it is Chicago with the leading team averages 3, 2, and 1 with a tie on shot percentage, and saves and demos being led by Santa Carla. Your key players are Huntu and Hallow, the two H's on these teams. And yeah, I mean, there's your intro. And we are going to have the full main roster. Okay, I did not change Barrel. It's the one thing I didn't do, so let me do that real quick. But we are going to have the full roster for Chicago, which is already a step in the right direction, as I said. I was interested to see what sort of a roster they would field, and that is definitely a good start for them. Prediction. By the way, there is a prediction in terms of betting, gamer, and it's still open, so, do that. But I'm interested. I think I have to bet in favor of Chicago, but this is an upset watch situation. We'll need to see a really good game out of Santa Carla, especially if Chicago are on form. But, I don't know. Which one? But, I think we're going to need to see a really good game out of Santa Carla. But Chicago have just shown such a high level this season that I have to predict in their favor. I think I'm going to go 3-1 because I'm just not, at least immediately, predicting a sweep out of this. Oh, you're right. Just hit pause, add 10 goals, call it GG. That's fair. I didn't think about that. We are going to load in. As I said, I'm going 3-1 Chicago, but I mean, it was just last week that Santa Carla took Hanoi all the way to 5 games. So I'm believing in a close game. I'm believing that we could have a fight here as we are underway. It is Chicago in blue and Santa Carla in orange, and it's gonna be Chicago. 7 seconds in. Just like that, the Inferno have first blood. BP with the pass, Hallow the finish. And it's an early start for the Inferno. And we'll have to see if the Freakz can put out the flame. I think a lot of the way they got into that series against Hanoi was kind of punishing mistakes. We saw Hanoi overcommit, and then it was a shot down on the other end. That was kind of a lot of their goals. And so I don't know if we're going to see a lot of the same mistakes, as Hallow already has 2. So this is a pretty poor start. I'm not going to count them out off this, but I mean, 2 goals immediately is a little bit rough, as there just wasn't a defensive play there. And Hallow, of course, able to get that shot down. As this one bounced out off the left side, BP will play it forward again. I mean, here's the problem. Are they going to get to 4? But again, I believe it was week 2 when Santa Carla played Steinhatchee that they lost like 6-1 in game number 1, and then Spaceman swept the series. So I think even if this one continues to get out of hand, we've seen from Santa Carla in the past that they do have the capability to bounce back into a series. I just kind of like the last one, but to a less severe degree. I think because Santa Carla are the underdogs here, it feels really bad for them to then have a bad start like this and have to battle back into it. But we'll see, as there are, of course, still 3.5 minutes to go, but it's not getting any better because Chicago add on one more, and it's now 3-0 for the Inferno. Just under 90 seconds into this game, and it's already turning into a little bit of a rout. As we've said, still time left to play, but, I mean, if Santa Carla were benefiting off mistakes last week, we sure don't need to see mistakes if a team's already up by 3. They can kind of just coast. And, of course, that is worrying, but we'll see, as Banks is waiting under this one and try to play it forward. Banks now on the 50, looking for the pass back. He'll get the flick up in the air. Andy is there. He'll play it off the back wall, dropping down, but a little bit too far away was the shot. So Huntu gets blocked, and the shutout remains intact. Hallow now in the air, going to get bumped off it as this one's sent down towards the corner. It'll bounce back out. That shot is high. Huntu does get a look, but it will not get its way through. And so 2 minutes in, it is still that same scoreline. This one popped downfield yet again. BP looking for a reset, but won't get anything else back on it. Now cleared away again. Andy trying to pass it down. Huntu diving. One by Hallow. Is there another chance here? Hallow shoots and he scores. That's a hat trick for him. And it's a 4-goal Chicago lead. Just an overcommit from Santa Carla. They knew they needed to make that play. They knew it was going to be tough to make this comeback. But they get a little bit too aggressive. They don't properly cover the defense. And so instead it goes straight into their net. And with 2 minutes left to play, it is a dominant showing here in game 1. Banks trying to collect it. 50 over to the right wall again. Hallow already on it. He'll take control. Playing it back out. To be fair, Hallow has incentive. Right? Like this guy... Yeah, this guy plays RLCS in 6 hours. This guy, he wants to win this game quick. As VP's trying to play this one out. Banks, the pass across. Andy's there. Hallow makes the save. Now over to the right wall. It'll roll up and roll out. VP trying to bring it down again. Huntu 50 on the outside. Which to that, by the way, I would say, why are we scheduling Thursday night? But I don't know. Again, he's just going to try to speed run it, I'm sure. There we go. Gets a dunk up into the air, looking for a shot forward, puts it towards the net, and then it's blocked to the other side by Andy. 80 seconds left to go as Huntu tries to jump up. VP now over to the right wall. Banks will get it down to the corner again. Hallow bringing it back. He'll try for a 50. He'll get straight through him. Now Andy looking for the drop down. Banks is there. That'll break the shutout. Of course, still a long way to go to even think about this comeback, but if nothing else, it's momentum to go forward with. It's a 3-goal difference here, and it's still looking pretty good for Chicago, but we'll see. As Huntu stays behind it, goes for the reset, plays it down, but it'll go too far to the other side. Banks had a shot, but couldn't quite find the angle on a tough putback. Now pinch downfield, final 50 seconds ticking down. There's already a demo, and it's a bit of an own goal that gets the lead right back up to 4. Waco just follows it down the sideline, cuts it towards the center. Banks rushing to get back, knows he has to hit it, but that's not quite where he wanted to put it. And so it just goes right back into his own net, and as the time is down to 49 seconds left to go, I'm not exactly a believer in this one. As Chicago look really strong early, kind of calm down through the mid-game, but then get the goal back once it goes the other way. Kind of like Calgary in our last series. Again, I'm hoping to see a bit more of a fight back from Santa Carla in the next 2 games, but, I mean, a tough start for them, as this one is running down. And the result has long since been decided, but let's see where it ends as Andy's trying to pass it down. Huntu's there. He's blocked out to the side. Final 10 now ticking. We go downfield. Hallow the catch to the back wall. Dunked by Banks. Clock now strikes 0. And as it hits the ground, it will be Chicago who secure game number 1. As we saw, Hallow kind of willing to spike it. Again, probably wanted to go as fast as possible, and he will now leave to reset his computer. So we won't see the exact shooting, as I'm sure Hallow had quite a few for his team. I can probably look at it on ball chasing pretty shortly here. But, I mean, good game by Chicago, obviously, as they close that one down 5-1. They'll win it by 4 goals, and they'll look pretty clean doing it. And so, of course, the onus now going to be on Santa Carla. I think they need a better start, most obviously. And then I think they just need more pressure. It's kind of one of the main things. As the shooting was actually, that is absurd. The shooting was actually in favor of Santa Carla that game. It was 7 shots to Santa Carla, 6 to Chicago. But on top of that, Hallow goes 3 for 3 on shooting. Wico goes 2 for 3. And so they shot 5 for 6. They shot 83% in that game. And that is maybe the worst part of that loss, being honest. Like, I think the pressure was still in favor of Chicago. They just weren't turning it completely into shots. But it's really the fact that the pressure's against you, but they aren't even, like, taking a bunch of shots and eventually breaking through. All of their chances are working, and most of them are converting into goals, bar 1 from Wico that couldn't quite find the mark. And so now as we are back to it, we load in for game number 2, and it's a tall task here for Santa Carla. As we said, we need to see a stronger start, and we need to see them have more of a presence in the game. Could start here, and it will. Andy doesn't have a lot of boost, but he has what he needs. Huntu sets it up. Wico a bit too slow. Also runs out of boost himself, and so the shot is good. And it is 1-0. Santa Carla get first blood in game number 2. So now forcing it down the sideline. It might just be on, but Banks gets it out towards the side. Now dunked up to the ceiling again. Huntu down the sideline, around the corner. Hallow will try to pop it away. Nothing connecting on that one, as now Hallow goes for the reset. Andy will force it down to the corner. Now drop back out. BP trying to play it close. Banks now up towards the ceiling. BP will get it down the sideline again. He's looking for a bump. Won't quite find it as Andy gets a clear. Hallow, though, will keep it close. Up towards the ceiling, looking for the 50. And now BP looking for another one in, but Andy will force it away. Santa Carla doing a pretty good job at not getting trapped in their own half here, but still we're seeing some awkward moments as pretty much since that goal went in, it has been a lot of pressure for Chicago, at least trying to push it forward, and they're gonna break through. Tied up again. BP drops it down. Hallow pucks it off the bar, and then BP gets the last touch. And so even though that early goal goes to Santa Carla, they will not hold the lead for long. They might get it back here, but Hallow gets himself up in the way. And they're right back to an even game state, and the pressure is right back on them as this is off the back wall, dropping down where the shot goes wide from Andy. Hallow now looking for the center down. No one there to receive the pass. BP tries to turn it into another pass, but Wico's waiting a bit too passively. Now down the sideline again. Banks will play it out the other way. Andy spikes it down. Huntu's there, but he pops it straight up. And there's plenty of time for Hallow to respond to that one, as now he'll get it out towards BP. BP down the sideline. Play off the back wall, dropping down and in. Hallow puts the lead in the hands of Chicago. With 3 minutes left to go, it is 2-1. And now the pressure turns. Santa Carla was, of course, such a good start, but it's really just been nothing since then. And now Chicago, who already have a lead, do not want to relent. It is 3-1. They have a 2-goal lead, and there's still over half the game left to go. But it's not looking so good thus far. As that one's out off the bar, dropping out. Weak goes there. It's off the back wall. Banks now trying to pop it up. Over towards the side again. Huntu waiting on it. It's off the back wall. Now dropping down. It's Andy into the corner. BP not able to get... Well, actually, no. Other way. Andy not able to get anything on that as we have crossed the halfway point of this game. Still a 2-goal lead, which I will mention is closer than a very good portion of the first game, but still feels hard to play as Huntu, that's a fantastic save, just getting himself in the way of Halo's shot. Now off the right wall again, 2 minutes left to play. There's a miss, there's a shot, there's a goal. Halo gets a playmaker. Wiko gets goal number 4 for Chicago. And it's getting out of hand once again. The Inferno just look better right now. Wiko trying to pop it up. He'll follow it down the sideline, trying to play it around. Banks will dive across, and he'll play it up over to the side wall. Now up in the air again. High downfield. Andy trying to play it over to the right side. Now 50 back into the corner. BP trying to force it back. Wiko across. Now Andy trying to force it down. BP will look for a center. Banks will get a clear. BP looking for a pass, but a bit too far back, and Halo will have to slow it down. Now he'll pinch it up, and he'll get the clear away. Bit of time on that one, but Banks will just be the one to clear it down. Now everyone upfield for Santa Carla, but it works out because Andy has a shot. BP a little bit of panic. I thought that bump double commit might be a problem, but it won't have time to be because Andy immediately afterwards smacks a shot. And it's 4-2. Chicago. Well, in a very... Well, okay. I kind of misspoke, but yeah, now they are absolutely in a very strong position. Because it's now 5-2. Halo gets another one added on, just for a little bit of safety. The lead is right back up to 3. And it is a 1 minute left to go, and it is looking very, very likely that this will simply be match point for the Inferno. Although, of course, still time for this to flip the other way. At least in the series. I don't know about the game, although that's a great attempt, but an even better save by Halo. As it has certainly been Andy getting the most shots for his team, but he's not the only one who's scoring. I think, I want to say all 3 of them have a shot, or have a goal this game. As Banks gets one there, and it's now 5-3. Still far-fetched, but hey, it is playable. As this one's pushed back. Huntu trying to go up into the air. He'll get up, but Halo gets there as well, and he'll play it down to the corner. Huntu now going the wrong way as Wiko with control goes for a shot, saved by Huntu. Andy now with control, gives it up. Banks will dive in. Banks now over off the left wall. Wiko not going to reach up to it. Banks now around the corner. Andy trying to drop it down. Wiko will play it over to the side. Now up in the air again. It's BP trying to get there. Banks off the back wall. Andy, he needs it. He won't get it. Huntu wide. Banks strikes. 5-4. Very low time bank, but it is playable as several shots go just off target, but Banks is there for the last one that they need. 9 seconds. A dream is all they have, but at least they have that. Banks in the air. Hallow makes the save. The clock strikes 0. And Santa Carla are brought right back to reality, as this time they are going to outshoot them once again, 12-10. Shooting a little bit worse for Chicago, but of course about as good as it needed to be. And so as we get ready now to roll on to game number 3, it will be Chicago 1 game away from closing this one out, but we'll see if they get it done. I think based on what we've seen in these last 2 games, it's looking pretty likely. But at the same time, you do also have to say that it was a pretty solid comeback attempt. As, by the way, I will point out, I noticed as we were loading in to the next game there, Hallow... So, Chicago had 6 saves. Hallow had all of them. And he was the top scorer. Like, that is just the performance we're seeing here. That Hallow just kind of did everything on both sides of the ball for his team. As we don't have Banks loaded into it, so don't know if he may have DC'd, and we're waiting on him to get back in. Hopefully it won't be too long. And we do now have him back in, so we are ready to load in now for game number 3. Could be the last one, as it could be yet another Prism sweep. Closing out the full set, but we'll see if Santa Carla can break it up. This one cleared away. It's BP with the early play. Banks so able to get it out to the side. Hallow now centered out again. This one sent downfield. Huntu will drop it down. BP now up to the right. Bouncing down again. He'll catch, he'll dribble. Wiko shots off the bar. Now played away by Huntu. Hallow up in the air again. Banks looking to drop it down. Andy's there for a shot, but BP gets a save. Hallow now down the sideline again. He'll look for the double, but won't quite find it. Hallow trying to get it downfield. Andy now down into the corner looking for one across. There's a shooter there, but Hallow makes another block. Andy now able to take it away. Now we'll win at 50 as well. Could get awkward, but it's a well-played play by the last defender there. And so it stays out of the net. 1 minute gone. No goals on the board just yet for either side, which is a good spot for Santa Carla, as that's a great passing play, and it's 1-0. The Freakz get the first goal again, as it was a pass across and then an absolute slot to the other side. Minute in, 1 goal in the favor of Santa Carla, but they couldn't hold it last game. We'll have to see if they can this time. Hallow down off the ceiling, caught by Andy. Now around the outside, Banks is following it up, looking for a shot down. It'll get caught. Now over to the right again. Andy backflips. Hallow now with some free space. Andy can't close it down, and Wiko will get the last touch to secure the goal. Hallow wins the race. It does hit just wide off the post, but there's no one there to stop Wiko. And so this game is all tied up again. Now up with it, looking for the play down. Huntu there, 50'd out to the side. Andy up in the air, it'll bounce right back down off the ceiling. Now we go, trying to play it in. Hallow around the outside again. Andy waiting under it, trying to play it forward. It's Banks up in the air. Banks now dropping it down. Trying for a play in, as now Hallow gets a flick downfield, and he has a full tank of boost. He'll look for a shot. Banks will block it, but it's just off the post. Now around the outside, this one dropping in. Hallow, double, saved by Andy. A great effort on that one, and he will keep this game tied. Cleared away again. Huntu over to the right wall. It'll bounce up to the ceiling and now fall back down. Hallow the air dribble downfield. He'll look for a 50. Banks will dunk it back away. BP trying to drop it down. Now Wiko already on it. He'll get the play across. Over to the side again. This one around the corner. Hallow's there. Hallow scores. 2-1. Lead Chicago once again. Still a good ways left to go in this one, but Chicago don't want to wait. They want to secure it here. And they look to be in a pretty strong position to do so. As with 2 minutes left to play, they now have a 2-goal lead. And so we're going to need to see a massive response here come out from Santa Carla. Definitely still enough time for them to get it back, but needs to be a big one. As this one's off the corner again. Andy looking for the clear away. Now down to 100 seconds left to go, but okay. Okay. There we go. I don't know. I think it's too tough. But Banks, again, this is what they did against Hanoi. As it is now 3-2. They see the overcommit. They find the man downfield. And Banks puts Santa Carla back into this one. And that shot is almost in, but it's saved out to the side. Banks now another. Hallow gets a save again. Now over off the sidewall, 80 seconds left to play. Andy downfield, it's off the backboard. Hallow now off the sidewall. This one is up in the air, bouncing out. BP trying to drop it down. Andy has a shot on it. Hallow now downfield. Banks trying to bounce it forward. Wiko won't connect on it. BP up in the air. Huntu back down off the ceiling again. Another clear for Chicago. And it's looking more and more like this one is going to end here. That shot is close, but it won't quite sneak through. Hallow now trying to get it away. Popped downfield. Andy trying to chase it. Hallow will pop it up and around. Time running down. 30 seconds left to go. Santa Carla brought it within one, but they have not found the second goal. They need the push, and they sure don't have it. Wiko tries to add. It's saved away by Andy. Final 10 seconds left to go now. Another one sent down into the corner. Hallow just going to wait on it, waste away that clock. Banks will race in. He will not get it done. And Chicago take the series 3-0 with a sweep. We'll see if we're going to have an interview. I would imagine I think Hallow typically doesn't do them, and so I don't expect to have him, but we'll see if the rest of the team wants to. Either way, that was a pretty good series by Chicago, as they were able to just kind of show up, get their sweep, and walk away with a 4-0 record. So we'll ask about an interview, and we will see. And we are going to have one, and so we will be back in just one moment. And we are back with Chicago. 3-0 sweep. Made it look pretty easy. How does it feel to be 4-0?
Really good. You know, obviously, Santa Carla, by far, probably, I think, the best team we've played yet.
Yeah.
Their infield passes are crazy. However,
Yeah,
I have a hollow, and hollow when we this basically carried us the entire series. It was great.
Yeah, since I never know anybody about any players in this league, I kind of got the pregame scuffle, and it was that Nika's really good, so I was trying to make it a point just to annoy him as much as possible. And it low-key worked that first game. We went off that first game, and then it just became a hollow show after that.
Yeah, pretty much.
As usual. I mean, what we expect. I mean, it's every single week. Where anytime we win, it's just gonna be a hollow show. To be honest with you.
Hard to disagree, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't know how to say the dude's name, but the V dude, I think it's Banks or whatever. Is that
Yeah.
is that who it is?
Yep.
He's got crazy reads. His
Yeah.
reads are crazy.
absolutely. Now I do gotta ask, they had a couple like almost near comebacks there. Were there any moments where you guys felt like you had to lock it back in, or are you just kind of confident the whole time?
It was like we'd go up a couple goals, like playing serious, and then I would just start glazing hollow too much, and I'd start selling. And I was just I'm just laughing in here. I feel like we stopped talking about that. In the last game, Hollow was really focused because he needed to go make cookies with his girlfriend, so he really needed to win that one. So we focused up at the end when it got close, and we closed it out.
Fair enough. Also, doesn't he have RLCS in 6 hours? So like,
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
He plays tomorrow.
yeah. So
He plays TSM round 2,
yeah,
so that'll be fun to watch.
absolutely. Won't catch it live, but we'll see if that turns into a series.
I might.
All the respect to Hallow, I'd be surprised if that's a close one.
Yeah, I
But
know. Hey, you never know. You never know. You never know.
We believe. Either way,
He's got
though.
Oatmeal Gobbler 81 on his team, bro. They're winning.
That's true. That's true.
Who do we play next week?
Yep. Up next, you guys are scheduled to play up against Lincoln. How do you feel about that matchup? And I'm a
Oh, it's
caster, not a
Doggo.
player. Smile.
Wait, that's Doggo?
That's Doggo.
We're smoking, you guys. We're
Yeah.
smoking. Get out
That'll
the
be a fun
room.
week. That'll be a really fun week.
Nah, Doggo, I'm coming for you. I said it like I think 2 weeks ago last time I was playing, and yeah, it's not. I've been doing demo training like crazy, so you better be quick. I'm just gonna be. Just know that I'm coming. That's all I can. That's all I'm good for.
All right. If you insist. So confident.
If we win, if we win, I own Ohio though.
Well,
That'll be isn't that our best game yet? Then aren't you guys also undefeated?
yeah,
Yes.
for sure.
Yeah, so that's gonna be the next hardest game. So that'll be even harder than this week. So yeah, that'll definitely be a good series. Or we're just gonna.
Yeah, I will say you
to
do
come-
have a Hallow on your team, so I don't
That's
know.
what
We
I'm
do have a
saying.
hollow on
I
the
don't
team.
know
It's
if that
either
specifically
Hollow plays.
determines that
crazy.
comparison, but you know.
You got 2 champ 3s and a hollow.
I'm GC 1 and
just
2s.
hating on Wiko for real, like
I'm GC in 2s. Hold
just
on.
dragging your teammate down with you. That's crazy. All right. Well, I think that's about all I have for you guys. So congratulations on the win and good luck next week.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Saga.
thank
Thanks for casting.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Same to you as well, actually.
True.
Yeah, good luck.
All right, and that will do it for our third game of the week. We still have one more left to go in this marathon, as we will have Madison taking on Kansas City at 11 o'clock. So the stream will be back live in about 20 minutes, game in a half an hour. Hope to see you then, but that does it for Prism's Week 4. And so we now move back over to Pixel. Your final score here, one last time. Chicago 3, Santa Carla nothing. We'll see you back in just a little bit for more Week 4.